Okay, so platinum macro, get rid of that. So what do we have with platinum? Really, there was an amazing run from 2000 to 2008, so right up to the last financial crisis. How did it know, you might ask? Well, you can look at some esoteric fundamentals at some point. Like I say, I'll point out again, the last video, the association between platinum and oil is very strong. Commodities as a whole, but especially oil. So you had this nice build up and then a parabolic run around the time of the financial crisis, peaking at 2,300, give or take, bit of change, US dollars. Had a big sharp correction, tried at a higher high, didn't get there, and then it's been a decline ever since. So if we use one way of drawing trend lines, which is to draw a line whereby in this scenario, whereby the green monthly candles do not close above the line. If you do that, that gives you this nice, so you've got this downtrend line, doesn't quite correlate up here, but we can draw another line in a second that correlates a bit more with that. You've got this breakout, retest with this big spring from the corona lows, and then it's really trying with the real breakout. In terms of that, it needs to hold this level, so round about, it needs to stay above 1,000 basically. But also, if you had this kind of closure on the monthly candle, it's looking like it would go sideways for a bit. So we need to have a strong couple of weeks here. In terms of Gann, there was one thing I wanted to show you. Really, the 45-degree angle is the building block for Gann. So I've put this at 45 degrees. Before we do that, I'll just show you this other trend line. So if you used a wick from the all-time high and then another wick here, that does correlate nicely with this recent breakout. So everything's looking good at the moment, but markets often deceive. So if this is at 45 degrees, then I'm going to draw another 45-degree angle over here, starting really from that whole bull run, the bull run in recent history. So if we do a 45, make sure that's still at 45. So there. And then if we pop two fans on, this down fan on 45 degrees, this up fan on 45 degrees again, with that 45-degree line being the anchor for that whole initial run. I think you can see that Gann's whole concept of price and time, I mean, it's making some sense, especially here and here. I'll lose the scaling if I zoom in, but if we zoom in, again, you'll see everything seems to, I mean, if this isn't the move for platinum, it can definitely go sideways for a bit. It could come down and retest, but I think this is the shot to get the run for 2021. So let's see. We need to get a close above here. We need to not have a big wick on this monthly, otherwise that's going to dial in some more sideways. And then here, this would be the next important level, exactly where it's at the moment, and then it needs to get above 1200. If we get some closes above 1200 early next year, then I think we've got an all-time high shot on. After that, yeah, we'll have to talk about that later, but I think if you're already in, then taking profits along the way at some of these key levels, and then probably just below the old high. I'm looking at around about 1800, 1900 if we get there. Okay.